Hi, my name is Josh Montgomery. Let's talk mods in Project M. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a prominent first-person shooter that generates over $221 million in sales with over 10 million monthly users. Dota 2 is a famous member of the MOBA genre. It generates over $238 million in sales with over 13 million monthly users. League of Legends is one of the most popular games in existence today. It generates over $1.6 billion in sales with over 100 million monthly users. Each of these games are famous and stand at the front of the gaming industry. What do all of these games have in common? They're all directly inspired by mods. In this video, I'm going to talk about how mods fit into modern society. Let's define what I mean when I say mod. A mod is an alteration of content from a video game in order to make it operate in a manner different from its original version. Mods can be created for any genre of game, but are especially popular in first-person shooters, RPGs, and RTSs. They can be single-player or multiplayer. They can add new content to the underlying game, fix bugs in the original game, or create an entirely new game. Now that we have a definition of mods, let's dive into some history. Video game mods date as far back as the 1980s. One of the first mods is based off of the game Castle Wolfenstein. The mod's name is Castle Smurfenstein, and it simply replaces the standard enemies with little blue smurfs. Fast forward a few years and we arrive at the 1993 classic Doom. Before Doom was released, the developers decided to package Doom's maps, sprites, and textures in a WAD file that was entirely separate from the game engine. This allowed people to easily mod Doom and opened up modding opportunities. In 1998, Half-Life was released, and 2 years later a single coder released a mod of Half-Life called Counter-Strike. Valve, the developer of Half-Life, saw the potential of Counter-Strike and ended up hiring the modder to develop an official version. Through the original Counter-Strike mod of Half-Life, Counter-Strike Global Offensive exists today. In 2003, a Warcraft 3 mod called Defense of the Ancients, Dota for short, was created. Dota single-handedly started the MOBA genre. Valve and Riot Games ended up hiring Dota's main contributors to work on their individual MOBAs, Dota 2 and League of Legends. There are a multitude of mods worth mentioning like Garry's Mod, Minecraft mods, Skyrim mods, Team Fortress, and many others, but I don't have time to give them the justice they deserve. However, I'd encourage everyone to check them out. All in all, it's easy to see that mods have come a long way from Smurf textures. Because of the growth of mods and the increase in their quality, they are becoming more and more controversial. Currently, there is little legislation that officially addresses mods, and mod rulings have largely been based on copyright infringement. Generally, developers will issue modders with what's called a C&D order to protect their intellectual property. Modders have no defense in the matter. A fan-made remake of Metroid 2 took 4 years to develop, and less than a week into its release, Nintendo issued a C&D order to its creator. Pokemon Uranium, a mod that took 9 years in the making, was also issued a C&D in its first week, to be taken down. It's clear that mods find themselves in a precarious legal state, but where do mods stand ethically? Using the utilitarian ethical framework to promote the greatest happiness for the greatest number, one can argue for and against mods. On one hand, mods help expand games and connect the community with developers. Like I previously mentioned, some of the best games in existence today were directly inspired by mods. Mods can increase popularity of the original game. On the other hand, mods have the potential to undermine the original game and misuse intellectual property, hurting the original game's developers and their business. In this video, I'm going to explore the history of one of the most well-crafted, finely tuned, controversial mods in existence today. Super Smash Bros. Project M. Before Project M was created, there were two very different competitive communities playing two different Smash Bros. Games, Melee and Brawl. Melee was the older Super Smash Bros. Game, and it had a high technical skill ceiling that rewarded finesse and well-executed offensive gameplay. Brawl, on the other hand, was the newer Super Smash Bros. Game, and it removed many of the core mechanics of Melee to make it more easily accessible to new players. The end result was a more defensive and less combo-heavy gameplay. Among the many mods of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, one mod in particular gained traction for trying to make the mechanics of Melee exist in Brawl's engine. This was the start of Project M. After successfully recreating Falco's Melee mechanics, Project M quickly gained traction and began to expand its roster. In 2011, Project M released its very first build, version 1.0, with 14 characters. Project M's development team, named the Project M Backroom, gradually added new characters and changes to Project M over the course of 3 years, until version 3.02 was released in 2014. Version 3.02 was substantial because it completed all of the original Brawl roster and added in additional melee characters such as Roy and Mewtwo. With the completion of its roster, Project M attained a level of competitive authenticity. It was at a point where it could appeal to Melee fans looking for high-speed mechanics, while also appealing to the Brawl crowd with its large roster, better graphics, and less demanding inputs. At this point, Project M became immensely popular. In the past, Project M was occasionally included at tournaments as a fun side event, but with 3.02, Project M rose towards the spotlight of competitive Smash, even rivaling Melee, the most popular Smash game at the time. Project M accomplished something at this point that no other mod had ever done. It reached national tournament level popularity, being included in tournament series such as Apex 2014, Big House, and Zenith. In fact, at Apex 2014, Project M had more registered entrants than Brawl. Let that sink in for a second. Project M, a mod of Brawl, surpassed Brawl in unique entrants. As Project M rose to popularity, Nintendo, the owner of the Super Smash Bros. Franchise, began to market their newest addition to the franchise, Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and Wii U, commonly referred to as Smash 4. To help market their new Smash game, Nintendo started getting involved in competitive Smash tournaments by sponsoring them with equipment and cash prizes. The Smash community at large was founded through grassroots efforts, and Nintendo's sponsorships were an opportunity to legitimize Smash games as competitive esports. This was the chance for the Smash scenes to come together and prosper. However, legitimizing Smash meant that they couldn't support a mod like Project M at an organized level. Tournaments that had championed Project M in the past, like Apex, started dropping it from their game lineups. One of Project M's greatest content creators, Video Game Bootcamp, also known as VGBC, removed all of its YouTube videos of Project M and instructed streaming commentators not to mention Project M on screen. Twitch.tv, the forerunner of video game streaming clients, removed Project M from its gaming directory. At every turn, Project M started to get impeded. These impediments, combined with unpopular balance changes, caused Project M's popularity to decline. Less and less tournaments supported Project M, and local scenes started to die out. Perhaps the most damaging event of all was in 2015 when the Project M development team unexpectedly announced that they were immediately halting development and ceasing all distribution of Project M. One member of the Project M development group, known anonymously as Mewtwo 2000, stated that the team disbanded as a preventative measure to avoid legal persecution. With the disbandment of the PMDT, the world's Project M community went into chaos. Participant numbers dwindled and many scenes died. Some members tried picking up where PMDT left off to do some balance changes into complete unfinished work, but those were short-lived as well. This moment in time was when Project M was at its lowest, with no updates, no major tournaments, and little content creation. Community leaders within Project M rallied together at this low point, and they decided that Project M would only die as a competitive game if the community let it. An organization of these community leaders was created called Project M TV. PMTV's first initiative was to reignite interest in Project M, and they decided to do that by creating a national tournament circuit called the Project M Champion Circuit. Through community rallying and PMTV's efforts, Project M has emerged from its low point and has reached a level of grassroots support. Though the Project M community isn't as large as it was in the 3.02 days, it has reached stability since PMDT's disbandment. The fans that have remained are passionate. As you can see, the history of Project M demonstrates many of the issues that mods create and face today. I've talked about Project M's history. Now I want to provide some insight on the Project M community through an anonymous survey I conducted, as well as personal interviews with Austin's local Project M scene. First off, I want to say that the survey I conducted is naive at best. It was conducted anonymously online through one of Project M's main community hubs, Reddit, using a survey service called SurveyMonkey. There were 100 unique survey takers. Here are some question results that I thought were interesting. In a legal sense, my shallow conclusion is that Project M fans don't really care if Project M is a mod. They just want a quality game that gives them what they want. Even if current laws prohibit mods, PM fans wish that wasn't the case. Going back to utilitarian ethics, I thought it was interesting that a majority, 52 out of 100 people, bought Brawl just to play Project M, not to play Brawl. Not only does Project M benefit society through its unique traits, but it also benefits Nintendo through increased sales of Brawl. Here are some things that Austin's local Project M seed had to say about Project M.
As you said, it's a Super Smash Bros. Mod specifically made for the competitive scene.
Project M takes all the fun elements which people thought were missing from Melee, which is a great fighting game which people really like due to the physics and the mechanics of the game. Yeah. And they added in the variety and the graphics of Brawl, which is the successor to Melee, which people thought were really lacking in depth. So combining these two things together, the community managed to create a really, really wonderful game, which takes the best of both worlds and makes the entire cast viable, and makes the game a really, really fun playing experience.
It probably has one of the largest viable rosters, at least percentage-wise, of viable characters in a fighting game.
You can tell that a lot of work went into it and that people who were making it really loved each character.
I mean, right now, we are going through a hard time. Biggest thing is that we've been banned by Twitch. So kind of Project M has been reduced to a grassroots situation, which is similar to, I want to say, Melee, right around when Brawl released.
It has a small community, though. That's the only thing about it. But as a game, it's a great game.
I decided to just come down and play one day, and I started getting hooked instantaneously because I knew every character was unique and they had possible ways to be viable. No one was so bad that they couldn't be playable anymore.
Once again, I really feel like it strikes that delicate balance between having the cast variety and having the mechanics of Melee, which make it really, really fun. And overall, I think it's just a much better game than either one of them standalone.
I'll be honest, I know several people who actually bought literally a Wii and Brawl itself just to play Project M.
This is the main mod I play. It's one of the main games I play nowadays. Yeah. It's definitely a lot of fun, and it's definitely made the Smash franchise way better, for sure.
I think it's my favorite Smash game by far.
As is demonstrated in these interviews, the Project M community loves their game. They come together, and through thick and thin, they play what they love. Mods have come a long way, from Smurf sprites to sophisticated masterpieces rivaling the original games themselves. They create vibrant and passionate communities that love and support them. While mods are responsible for many contributions to modern gaming, they also pose a challenge to IP owners and legislation, and are currently handled in a less than satisfactory way. All in all, it'll be interesting to observe how society adapts to the power of mods. And that concludes this video. My name is Josh Montgomery. Thank you for listening.